Hi, I'm Randall Widener, Marketing Director for Growth Services Group, and I'm here with Jeremiah Johnson, the VP of Business Development for Great Falls Development Authority. We're here to ask them about a labor demand survey that they just received from Growth Services Group and how it's affecting their economic development outlook. Okay, so what kind of report did you receive from GSG?
You know, the labor demand certification report was very important for us. We were very fortunate in that when we proceeded with the survey, we were able to get 60 respondents of the 100 companies that we had selected to send it to. And fortunately for us and our constituents, we received a very diverse respondent base. So they were looking at things in terms of skills that employees need, practices of employers, compensation, what kind of work styles are most important to the companies in our area, who the toughest type of employees to find were. We were extremely happy and fortunate that we had so many respondents, and what that resulted in was a pretty good baseline report that we can use. Instead of in the past, the recent past, we had anecdotal information, which is great information, but can also be a little bit dangerous as it can skew things. So we're very happy with the end product.
How do you anticipate using this report?
Well, that's a little bit still up in the air. What we've done thus far is we've shared it with our wide base of investors. We've shared it with some of our partner organizations in the community. And, you know, I think really what we want to do is just be able to use it with the individual employees out there individual companies in our market, when they come to us and maybe have a question about where they're soliciting for new employees. I think there was some good information on that in the report. And so just with the individual companies in our market, we're going to be sharing this, and we already have, and looking at it when they have questions for us.
So your local employers and constituents really benefited from the information in this report.
Yes, absolutely. One of the things that was pretty interesting in the report was how companies are looking for their employees, and how employees are finding jobs. So I think that can help people in terms of how they advertise positions, things of that nature. It can also help with determining down the road what we're going to be doing from a workforce training standpoint.
What prompted you at this time to get this report?
Well, I think it was maybe a combination of a few things. In Great Falls, Montana, we're very fortunate. We have extremely low unemployment, and over the past couple of years, we've experienced growth. And so we're starting to hear more and more from companies that they were having a hard time finding people. And as I mentioned earlier, that, of course, was anecdotal information. Taking that information, we wanted to get a wider base to verify what's really happening in the market. So honestly, what this report did is it basically supported a lot of the thoughts that were already out there, but hadn't had any scientific proof given to them.
How was your experience working with Growth Services Group?
They were great. They were awesome. It was a smooth process. There were no hiccups whatsoever. The final report is a good-looking report. It's attractive. I can just send it to people, print it out very easily. it was very smooth, and I applaud them. They were great, and everything was done on time and very professional. And so, again, I can't say enough. They were fantastic, and we're very happy with the report we have right now.
Do you anticipate using this project with site selectors or new projects?
Oh yeah, I probably should have mentioned that before. We routinely work with site selectors, and all the time there's various projects who are coming to us and coming to me and wanting information on the market. And as you probably are well aware, I mean, workforce is the hot button question right now. And so this report has a lot of good information for us to share with those folks regarding, the stability, the education level, the skill level, and what kind of workforce we do have here. So it's definitely valuable to use with prospects and site selectors.
Do you think that this report will give you a competitive advantage in your region and even nationally?
Yeah, I mean, we're Great Falls Development Authority. We really push. We operate like a consulting firm, and we want to be amongst the best economic development groups in the country. So we're always looking for things that can give us the edge. In this business, I've came to believe that really one of the vital important pieces of success is your ability to respond, because you kind of never know where those next projects are going to come from. And so tools like this, as I just mentioned, are extremely valuable when we have someone who's calling us and wants information, and we actually have a documented report that we can share with them. And so there's no doubt it gives us an edge. And we're always looking for tools that help us in that manner. So,
have you had the chance to use this report in any of your projects recently?
I have shared it with a number of projects in the last couple months, and the response is always great. I think people that have come to us have been very happy with our ability to respond, and this is a tool that we have to help us do that. And so the response has been great. It's good information. What really helped for us is that we had 60% response rate, which I believe is pretty high. So it's not like 10 companies responded. We have 60 companies who responded, and they're really spread out in size. So it gives a good baseline information source for people.
So comparing life before this report and after the report, have you seen any differences?
Just the only difference is I kind of mentioned it. It supported a lot of the thoughts that were out there, but it's nice to have something that's not just word on the street, something you can actually point to and talk about the respondents and give people some real scientific based information on what's happening.
Yeah, there's a significant difference between just local wisdom and hunches and speculation and real data, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly. It's one thing for a prospect or site selector to come to me and I could tell them anything. My job is obviously to sell the area. So it's, obviously I'm going to tell our story, and I try to do the best job I can at doing that. But as we're all well aware, data comes into effect and people want to see numbers. And so I think it's a good tool for us to use as we move forward.
Anything else that you wanted to share that we haven't covered yet in our conversation?
I just would like to express our gratitude to the GSG team. I mentioned earlier, they were really fantastic to work with. And, I'd recommend them to any group, any economic development group out there. Very professional, very easy. And the information that we ended up with is valuable. And they were very helpful along the way if we had any questions or anything like that. So very responsive, and it was a great experience.
Thank you, Jeremiah. We really appreciate your time.
Yeah, you guys have a great day.
We've been speaking with Jeremiah Johnson, the VP of Business Development at Great Falls Development Authority. Thanks. Thanks, Jeremiah.